We're looking at the church at Philadelphia in chapter 3 of the book of Revelation in our Wonderful Day in the Lord broadcast. And we got a good start yesterday as we saw that this is a church that apparently was not big in the eyes of people. The Lord said in verse 8 that they have a little power. They're not known as a mover and shaker in the ecclesiastical world. They're probably a small church, probably a poor church. Probably ignored by most of the other churches. I don't know for sure, but they're not ignored by the Lord. And the Lord knows their deeds, and He is happy with how they're living because they have not only a little power, but they've kept His word, and they have not denied His name. Opposition, we have seen yesterday in verse 9, comes from a powerhouse of people in a synagogue of Satan. Whatever that is, we know Satan leads that charge, and so that's a lot. But, verse 10, he says, because you have kept the word of my perseverance, I will also keep you from the hour of testing, the hour which is to come upon the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth. Now, because they are people who love the Lord, who have kept His word, who have persevered, and that's very important here, I will keep you from the hour of testing. Now, there are some who believe that this is a very important verse for the defense of the pre-tribulational rapture. The idea that the Lord is going to come and rapture or catch out His people, His church, from this world before the 7 year of tribulation comes on the earth, which is described in the book of Revelation starting in chapter 6. That may be the case. And the reason why many people believe that is the case is because there's an hour of testing that is coming, and it's going to come on the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth. So it's not a localized persecution or testing. It's a worldwide circumstance, a worldwide difficult hour. So it could be the tribulation period he's talking about here. We don't know, though, for sure. I would not hang my hat on this particular verse to prove a pre-trib rapture, even though I believe in a pre-trib rapture. I wouldn't use this verse exclusively. Perhaps it lays into the argument, but it's a little bit difficult to prove. What we do know is that in the first century up to about the 3rd century, or so about 300 years here, the church had persecution off and on throughout that time, sometimes very intense. Sometimes the church pretty much universally was under the gun of those who rejected Christ and hated them. Other times it was localized persecutions. So you would have a persecution perhaps at a place like this one, but not maybe 100 miles away. So there would be different reasons for different times of persecution. But this one is going to be on the whole world, so it could be that it's just talking about the universal rejection and persecution of Christians prior to the 4th century when Constantine nationalized or made official the Christianity. Or it could be speaking perhaps of the tribulation. But either way, something is coming, and He is saying to them that He's going to protect them from that. And He says, I'm coming quickly. Now, God's timetable is different than ours. In our timetable, it doesn't seem like He's come so very quickly. But God has a very different timetable than us. He's coming when He wants to. He's coming for His people. And He says, hold fast what you have so that no one will take your crown. What is important to the Lord? He says, he who overcomes, and then He talks about the rewards. What's important to the Lord according to this message to this church? Well, I think perseverance is important. Holding fast to Him, holding fast to the truth, no matter what persecutions might come, no matter what oppositions might come. The Lord honors that. And He says to these people, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. At Philadelphia, they had temples that with pillars, and some of those pillars would have the honor of being named after some very important person in Philadelphia. And so it was an honorable thing, like we have statues today, or that type of thing with somebody's name on them. He said, He will go out from them, not go out from them anymore, and I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God, and my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Great rewards are promised to this church for its perseverance. He will take care of them. He will protect them. He will honor them. And he will place his name upon them. There's not much better than that, to have the name of the Lord Jesus on us. What a blessing that is. So this church is honored because of his perseverance for the Lord. That's important to Jesus Christ, and it should be important to us.